Big news from the political arena. President Biden has just announced he won't seek re-election and has endorsed Vice President Harris as his successor. What does that mean for our mental health and spiritual well-being? We got to dive deep into this historical shift. I am live. I'm making sure I am live, and it appears that I am live. It's been a while since I've been live, so I want to make sure that all systems are go and all systems are ready. Okay, being that they are, and being that some of you may join me, some of you may catch the replay of this. I am happy that you guys can join the Transform You Live show for my reaction to this. So, brief look overview of the announcement: President Biden stepping down, endorsing VP Harris. There's some broader implications of this, some political, some spiritual, and some mental health ones as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on the video, which the MSNBC, like Mohedo, gives like a detailed analysis of Biden endorsing Harris and the political implications of this. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see this. And for whatever reason, there it is right there. So let's share this.
Kamala Harris, former United States Senator and presidential candidate, has endorsed Joe Biden for president. Since I've got the three of you, I want you to just stay here and watch this with me, and we can talk about it on the other side. Let's watch this.
Hey, everybody. So I'm here in Alabama. I arrived here to commemorate the 55th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. I'll be walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge again with John Lewis and so many great leaders and fighters. I'm just here thinking about all the folks who for generations have fought and died for our civil rights and fought to help our nation achieve its ideals. And you guys know we still have yet to achieve those ideals. But one of the greatest things about us is we are willing to fight to get there. So I just wanted you guys to know, because you've been supporting me for so long, and I just wanted you guys to know I have decided that I am, with great enthusiasm, going to endorse Joe Biden for president of the United States. I believe in Joe. I really believe in him, and I have known him for a long time. One of the things that we need right now is we need a leader who really does care about the people and who can therefore unify the people. And I believe Joe can do that. I am supporting Joe because I believe that he is a man who has lived his
So I wanted to took you back in time a little bit. And that was an older video 4 years ago of Kamala kind of endorsing Joe Biden. So that was an older video, actually.
Senator, I just got a statement.
And I wanted to give you that one. I don't know why that one came up instead of one I was trying to give you. So hold on, let me pull up the right one.
You can turn any slogan or funny quote.
Hold on a sec. That was embarrassing. It lets you know that I'm not perfect, though. It lets you know that I'm not perfect. So let's see. Okay. All right, we're ready now.
Senator, I just got a statement, or we just got a statement from Vice President Kamala Harris. It's a bit lengthy, but given the significance of the moment, I'm going to read it in full because it's also very telling. On behalf of the American people, I thank Joe Biden for his extraordinary leadership as President of the United States and for his decades of service to our country. His remarkable legacy of accomplishment is unmatched in modern history, American history, surpassing the legacy of many presidents who have served 2 terms in office. It is a profound honor to serve as his vice president, and I am deeply grateful to the president, Dr. Biden, and the entire Biden family. I first came to know President Biden through his son, Beau. We were friends from our working days together as attorney generals of our home states. As we worked together, Beau would tell me stories about his dad, the kind of father and the kind of man he was. And the qualities Beau revered in his father are the same qualities, the same values I have seen every single day in Joe's leadership as president. His honesty and integrity, his big heart and commitment to his faith and his family, and his love of our country and the American people. With this selfless and patriotic act, President Biden is doing what he has done throughout his life of service, putting the American people and our country above everything else. I'm honored to have the president's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win this nomination. Over the past year, I've traveled across the country talking with Americans about the clear choice in this momentous election. And that is what I will continue to do in the days and weeks ahead. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump and his extreme project.
Control. I'm really sorry, but look, I'm not a young guy.
Hey, does anybody, let me pause that for a second. Does anybody, let me come back up. Does anybody feel like she's gonna earn her way to being nominated? I kind of feel like she was kind of anointed a little bit. I don't know. That's just me, that's just kind of me a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of you may disagree with me, but I don't feel like she is gonna try to earn her way. I mean, she's gonna inherit all his campaign funds, all the donors, and there was already people kind of saying like, "Hey, Joe, just step aside and let her take the wheel and start driving." The only thing she really needs to kind of work hard for is really to get some votes. But we already know that there's a bunch of people who's gonna vote blue anyways. But I just don't see her really, getting the opportunity to be able to win over anyone else. I don't know. We'll get more into that. We'll get more into that. Let's go back in. Yeah. Again, that's just me. It's just me.
I have to leave.
Agenda. Senator, we can let you go. Thank you so much for being here. And the last part of the statement is we have 107 days until Election Day. Together we will fight.
Okay, that was that one. All right. Let's look at what Biden himself said, straight from his campaign YouTube channel. He had a couple things that he said as well that I would like for us to look at. All right, let me just bring that up, and then we'll take a look at that as well, straight from his campaign.
Look, I'm not a young guy. That's no secret. But here's the deal. I understand how to get things done for the American people. I led the country through the COVID crisis. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world. I passed a law that lowers prescription drug prices, caps insulin at $35 a month for seniors. For 4 years, Donald Trump tried to pass an infrastructure law, and he failed. I got
Okay, once again, my apologies. That right there is another past video that I thought that would have been something that's new. Apparently, the video that I was looking for is not there anymore. There was something that was posted, but it's not there anymore. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Look, I'm not a young guy.
Okay, so let me. Okay. Let's just switch gears here. So I will bring this up though. About how quickly the Trump campaign was able to target Kamala Harris. So like this comes from ABC News. So I will bring this one up and we'll take a look at this one. All right. So I'm not yeah. All of the videos that I keep on that I thought I had up are just like for some reason they're just disappearing. So sorry about that, guys. Let's take a look at this one together.
To our executive editorial producer, John Santucci. John, for months now, you have had this rematch between President Biden and former President Donald Trump. All that now changing. How is the Trump campaign responding to this?
So the Trump campaign, we've already seen those initial statements, Rachel, of course, Donald Trump attacking Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We know from our sources that the Trump team has been building a book to take on Kamala Harris, attack her for some of her past statements, and do everything they can to tie her to Joe Biden. Now, look, the Trump team is going to have to very quickly, Rachel, take the money and pivot.
I don't think that's very hard to kind of call her out on some of the crazy things she has said. She's definitely said a lot of crazy things. Some of the things she said has been a little bit more kind of bizarre, in bizarre in the sense that they don't really make sense sometimes, So yeah, it's just me.
To attack Kamala Harris. I can tell you from my sources, MAGA Inc., that's Make America Great Again Inc., that is a super PAC aligned with Donald Trump. They've already taken, Rachel, a $5 million ad buy for next week, and they are now turning that on Kamala Harris, an ad that they have already put across social media. And that buy, Rachel, going to target states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. Now, one source high up in the super PAC told me that they're not only going to take that buy, they're going to keep expanding it to other states, and telling me, quote, there's going to be tremendous chaos within the Democratic Party, and our job now is to seize on that. The source goes on to tell me, Rachel, that the whole goal of their efforts is going to say that Kamala Harris was in on the cover-up of Joe Biden's health and start attacking her and her record, adding that our job now is to start prosecuting the case against her, Rachel.
Notable because she obviously is a former prosecutor, something that Senator Heidi Heitkamp says she'll definitely use if she ends up facing off against former President Donald Trump on the debate stage, should she actually become the Democratic nominee. John Santucci, stay with us. Thank you, John Santucci, with that.
Oh, why aren't they texting me back? Are they mad at me?
Okay, so that's that right there. So let's stop the share again. Let's go into some things here. Let's talk about the mental health effects of major political changes, uncertainty, and anxiety. Okay, political changes can lead to anxiety and stress due to the uncertainty about the future. The minute that election time, election season, especially big elections, more so the big elections, because like that's when it gets the most attention. And this one has gotten like the most attention ever. Like, I mean, look at all the drama, the twists and turns that is happening. Okay, according to like the American Psychological Association, political transitions can heighten feelings of uncertainty, contributing to like increase anxiety levels. I mean, if you think about like the polls, there's a range of public reactions and polls. Uh, almost every week, every time like a new news story come out, even before this endorsement from Biden to give over um, to Kamala, and for him to drop out, and then for him to endorse Kamala, like the polls was already like kind of like trying to like pin her against Trump. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let's go into that. Let's like let me bring that up just real quickly. To show you what I'm talking about. Because I found that interesting as well. Is the fact that like they were already in this. You can find this on X. Like, I mean, just an hour ago, and they got it pinned all the way to the top. They got Donald Trump in a landslide, 63%, to Kamala Harris, 29% in a landslide, predicting Donald Trump as the winner. And then they even got Michelle Obama on there, receiving like 2% of like the vote. That's very interesting. And then when you looking at my own state of Wisconsin, they got Harris and Trump like dead even at a tie. That doesn't look good, But like, it's just things like this that just continues to put people on the edge of their seats, like like what's going to happen, and just further like heighten and increase the anxiety, among everybody, and gives people this uncertainty about the future, because they constantly like looking at the polls, looking at everybody's tweets, looking at everybody's like status posts, and commenting on everybody's status posts, and like further dividing, because like everybody has this opinion, and it's very interesting about like how political polarization, during leadership transitions can increase like social tension and stress. Studies have shown that like political polarization can lead to social stress and mental health issues, particularly in divided communities. And where I live, particularly in Milwaukee, they say they say it's the most segregated city. Hey, is it? Perspective. Everything's about perspective, right? Perspective. And I don't feel that way. I feel like I can go anywhere, but it's perspective. But when you have polarization happening in the political arena, you have people walking around holding and balling up stress, and it's social stress, and then they're not addressing their mental health issues, and that's where the division is happening at. That's the root cause of the division, and nobody wants to address it. Nobody. All right, nobody wants to address it. So therefore, we need to start moving towards hope and motivation. There's a positive side. There's got to be a positive side, and usually when all of the all of the game highlights, I hate all of the bombs going off, and all the drama sizzles down, and then we finally are declared a winner. The hope is that a new leadership can bring hope and motivation, potentially boost mental health, because like then we can go about our lives. And a new leader often brings a sense of renewal and optimism, anyways, right? Which can positively impact mental well-being. But hey, everyone, do you ever, so speaking of like, just a sense of renewal and optimism, I just want to bring up something real quickly. I want to bring up something real. I gotta bring up something real quickly. Okay, so before we move on, I gotta introduce you guys to something because, like, with all this talk about renewal and all this talk about like just things that like that affect us and all of that good stuff. We often, stress oftentimes leads to like bad skin. Bad skin. Who wants bad skin? And like I myself been having some issues with bad skin, and boy, I tell you, it can be problematic. It can be problematic for you, and if you ever look yourself in the mirror and feel frustration from like uneven skin texture, a fine lines, or the persistent look of dullness that just won't go away, I get it. The struggle is real, my friends. Rather it's acne scars, stretch marks, or just a toe every day, stress takes on the skin. It can be hard to feel confident when your skin isn't glowing like you want it to. All right. That's why I want to share my secret weapon with you. It's the face and body micro roller set, and it's from Skin Gym. And you might be looking at me like, man, why are you using a pink, Skin Gym micro roller? Hey, I got a secret for you. It was a friend of mine. She had it, and I took it from her, and I loved it so much I couldn't let it go. This isn't just any skin care tool. It's a game changer, folks. With ultra fine stainless steel needles. That's why I love it so much, because like anytime you mention stainless steel, you feel a little bit more manly if you're a man. This micro roller set rejuvenates your skin from head to toe. Head to toe. It's just perfect for improving skin elasticity and texture, giving you that smooth, radiant look you always dreamed of. The set comes with 2 interchangeable heads, so you can tackle both the face and the body with ease. And the best part, it's suitable for all skin types, so anyone can benefit from it. To all my skin care enthusiasts and beauty gurus out there, this is for you. If you're serious about your skincare routine, which I'm getting more serious about ever since the stress has increased out here in these streets, and you want to see real results, you need to try the micro roller set. Trust me, your skin will thank you. Right now, you can get the face and body micro roller set for just $50. It's an incredible value for a tool that delivers professional level results right at home. All right. So what are you waiting for? You might want to go ahead and check out my description. If you look in the description, the link is there, and get your Skin Gym face and body micro roller set today. Say goodbye to dull skin and hello to a glowing, confident you. All right, now let's go back into the show. Make sure you, if you got any questions about that, hit me up directly. So, the spiritual significance, right? The spiritual significance of leadership transitions, that happen, right? So there is a spiritual, significance of leadership transitions, right? Especially when we talk about from the Christian perspective. If we talk about transition that happened from Moses to Joshua, especially if for those who out there who are very worried about like Biden to the Harris, and and if you look at Biden as your hero, then you're wondering like what happens now. All right, but let's get away from that and just talk about the nation as a whole, and let's put it into perspective here. The significance of divine leadership transitions. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands on him. So the Israelites listened to him and did what the Lord had commanded him. And that's Deuteronomy 34:9 in the NIV. Or what about King David to Solomon? And this is why then we stress the importance of wisdom and divine guidance. And that's why we want to like pray for our leaders that they, lean on wisdom and divine guidance. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours? 1 Kings 3:9 in the NIV. There's going to be challenges ahead, and whoever it may be, and as we continue forth in this election process, and now that Harris is like trying to take on the mantle, she's gonna have even more challenges. I would like to hear what Dwayne Wade Johnson got to say. Dwayne the Rock Johnson got to say. He had an interesting take on this whole debacle. So let's go to that particular video and see what he got to say.
The all-new GoDaddy Arrow helps your...
Let's pause this for a second. Sorry about that, folks.
Is saying he will not be endorsed. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is saying he will not be endorsing Joe Biden for president as he once did during the last presidential election. During an interview with Fox News, Johnson expressed some regret about his 2020 endorsement for Biden and Kamala Harris, saying he won't endorse any candidate this year.
The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time.
He continued, I thought I'm in this position where I have some influence, and I felt it was my job then to exercise my influence and share. This is who I'm going to endorse. I'm not going to do that.
The takeaway after that, months and months and months, I started to realize like, oh man, that caused an incredible amount of division in our country. So I realize now going into this election, I'm not going to do that.
He went on to say, my goal is to bring this country together. I believe in that. There will be no endorsement. At this level of influence, I will keep my politics to myself. It's between me and the ballot box.
I do trust the American people, and I trust that whoever they vote for, that's going to be my president, and that's who I'm going to support 100%.
Asked if he was happy with the state of America right now, Johnson replied no. In 2020, Johnson made headlines by sitting down with Biden and Kamala Harris and announcing his endorsement, a message promoted by the Biden campaign. For more on this story, hit a
Okay, I wanted to go back to that for a reason, right? Okay, so the reason I went back to that, because it goes, back to saying, that, leadership is very important, and we have to make sure that we are picking leaders who are going to demonstrate wisdom and are going to be receptive to divine guidance, and leaders who like when and we got to be very, very conscious of the fact that this whole process is all about divine leadership transition, and it's supposed to be symbolic of renewal and growth, right? And it's supposed to embody the principle of constant evolution, and for him to say that he wasn't happy, there's probably a lot of other people who feel that way, and we can honestly and freely voice, I think that's a pretty unique thing that America has blessed to us, to be able to freely say that we are not happy with our government, and that we can secretly, go and not be persecuted for voting against who's in office or the party that holds the power, and vote for someone else or whatever, but just that's just that principle of constant evolution, the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? That's what it should be. It should be that that renewal, that growth. And I think sometimes when we got people who's telling you what you should do, and you should do it because it's the popular thing to do, or because because they don't like somebody else, it stops that constant evolution, right? We should be constantly evolving and rising from the ashes, not like going back into ashes or staying in the ashes, right? And then this the alignment with the universal flow. Transitions are part of the universal flow of energy, aligning with the greater good. What is the greater good? You know, we always talk about the lesser of two evils, but what is the greater good? What is the greater good? You know, if we can't have like 50 here, 50 there, we gotta ask ourselves, so what is the greater good of us all? And more importantly, you know, what is the woo we? You know, in Taoism, they say the woo we, you know, effortless action. It suggests that changes should be viewed as a part of the natural flow of life, the natural flow of life. Okay. And like, and if there's so much, if it takes so much like effort and so much of your mental energy and it robs you of your moral character that you got to like hate something so much or be so negative to so much, isn't that like completely opposite of the natural flow of life, right? If you got a bad taste in your mouth that you got to support something just because it is so, isn't that like not natural? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. All right. And like it doesn't really, reflect on what the future holds for the promise of the future. It doesn't give any optimism to the future. It doesn't give any inspiration to the future. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us stuck and then robs us morally. It robs us bankrupt morally. Okay. So let's reflect here. More importantly, let's reflect on Vice President Harris's future and potential presidency, shall we? With another video.
His endorsement to her. She says, on behalf of the American people, I thank Joe Biden for his extraordinary leadership as president of the United States and for the decades of service to our country. She goes on to say, it is a profound honor to serve as his vice president. I am deeply grateful to the president, Dr. Biden, and the entire Biden family. She calls what he has done a selfless and patriotic act. She says President Biden is doing what he has done throughout his life of service, putting the American people and our country above everything else. And then at the end, Nora, she says this, I am honored to have the president's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win this nomination. Over the past year, I have traveled across the country talking with Americans about the clear choice in this momentous election, and this is what I will continue to do in the days and weeks ahead. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump and his extreme Project 2025 agenda. In short, Nora, she is saying that with 107 days to go, she's all in.
Nancy Cordes at the White House with that new statement from the vice president. And Nancy, based on what you know from the campaign, the entire campaign team will now essentially unite behind the vice president. Is that correct?
This afternoon, Nora, there are meetings taking place across this town as Democrats, both within the campaign, outside the campaign, shift gears as quickly as possible to to transform this campaign into a Kamala Harris campaign. CBS News has just learned that the White House Chief of Staff, Jeff Zients, held a meeting with cabinet officials this afternoon to inform them of the president's decision, to explain to them why the president had done this. We know that there's a meeting coming up a little bit later among Democratic National Committee officials. There are 107 days to go, and this is a very large ship to turn. And as Amy Klobuchar put it when she just spoke to you, no matter who said what in the days leading up to this, now
Yeah. So once again, 107 days out. I get, I guess we don't really think about that. She has to put together a strong campaign in under 107 days, and as you've seen from the polls, like she's already like way behind in the polls. I mean, but if she was to win, this could be historic. She could be the first woman president. As far as policy changes, I don't think there could be any like extreme policy changes from like the ones that like are now, that are in place now. It'd probably just be a continuation from like what's happening now. That's kind of what I see. And then far as like the mental health aspect of it, that's interesting because mental health and spirituality aspect of it, there's gonna be some people who's gonna have some issues, like with being led by a woman. There's from a traditionalist standpoint, values, we can see some more divisive things coming up because of like skin color. We there's going to be some things coming up about like one minute she identifies as an Indian American, one minute she identifies as a black African American, but then you have the black Americans who don't see her as the traditional black American. I mean, I would be honest and say like, I don't see her as a the traditional black American, maybe African descent, because like, she's technically not, what you would call like a black American that, has like, a more of a African that descended from slavery, who was, that was put here in America, type of background. She has more of a Indian and Jamaican background, so that's quite different. I have my qualms about that, and a lot of other people in my community has qualms about that. But that's another story. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, and and as you said in that, as it was said in that last video, the whole infighting in the Democratic Party, there could be people who may not be receptive to having her lead the Democratic Party, and that could cause some further for the aggression, some more toxic violence, perhaps some protesting. And with protesting, we know that like there's no room for progress. You know, there's stagnation that occurs. All right. We're gonna have a wonderful guest next this coming up week, who's going to be who's an expert on toxic violence in our politics. I can't wait to like announce this guest. So be on the lookout for that. She's gonna have some challenges though. But this just to conclude this thing, you know, we talked greatly about some very important things. You know, we talked about uncertainty and anxiety, and how political changes can lead to anxiety and stress. You know, due to the uncertainty about the future. You know, this announcement is just going to further increase that. That's why you gotta increase your self-care more. Um, that's why it's even more important to like, get you more secret weapons like the face and body micro roller, set from skin gym, to like, take care of your skin. Skin is one of those, clear indications that you stressed out. So take care of yourself, take necessary breaks, breathe, meditate. We talked about polarization and stress. We talked about like how leadership transitions can increase social tension and stress. We're not even there yet. We're 107 days from November, and then after November we got to get to January, to inauguration date. So it's important to know that like there's going to be a lot of political polarization. That's going to lead to more social stress and mental health issues. So if you have not been talking with a professional or a mental health coach like myself, or a spiritual teacher like myself, like get some, get around people who are professionals, and those who are well versed on like what you can do to uh, gear up on taking on addressing on addressing issues of mental health, on addressing stress. Okay. And we talked about hope and motivation, that like sometimes new leadership can mean hope and motivation. We know now that we're going to have a new leader. We know that November we are electing someone brand new. We didn't know that before. So renewal and optimism should be on the front of our minds, not gloom and doom. Okay. So we want to have a sense of renewal and optimism. Remember the vision of the phoenix rising above the ashes? That's what we want to think of. Okay. We want to see America rising out of the ashes as well as ourselves. Okay. If you've been struggling, we want to see how we can pivot out of that struggle with, the sense of renewal and optimism from a new leader coming in. And we talked about symbolic renewal and growth, embodying the principle of constant evolution, so that the phoenix rising from the ashes, alignment with universal flow, the woo-wee, effortless action, like embracing the natural flow of life. Don't work against it, don't be opposite of it. All right. So I just want to encourage you guys again to reflect on these changes, on how they might impact your own lives. And I just want to invite you guys, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, share your thoughts in the comment sections. Share your thoughts in the comment section. This is your live stream. If you are watching the playback, we want to hear your thoughts, questions, and reactions to the political bombshell. Let's create a safe space to share and connect over the shared experience. And to each and every one of you, I will continue to hold each and every one of you in prayer. Thank you for bearing with me today. I'm still working on like getting better at like doing reaction videos via live stream. This is my first reaction video via live stream in a very long time. So thank you for bearing with me today. Until next time, many blessings, peace, and lots of love. I'm out.